We've been using Innovator for about a decade now, and if we did not have Innovator, we really would not be where we are today. Okay, so our implementation. So we got started with Aras back in 2004, and it had become exceedingly obvious to us that we needed a better way to handle our new product development. Our project tracking capability, it looked just like this. It was awful. I mean, we had spreadsheets all over the place that were only accessible to the elite few among us. We had a simple database of activities and some workflow software called Lexine. It was a bad picture. We had almost no visibility into where a project was on the timeline and who had responsibility for it. We actually had a single person who I call the PLM overlord here, whose job it was to try and keep all the stitches together as best they could. And they were pretty much the only person who could say with any certainty where, and sometimes not even that, where a project was in the process here. So we had this huge PLM nightmare, and we needed to get to our PLM heaven on the other side here. And we knew that that was going to end up meaning we needed to find a PLM solution that fit our ideal vision of what new product development should look like. And for our company, first and foremost, that meant that it needed to be flexible. Really, that was the first thing on our list, because it needed to fit how we do NPD. I mean, it wasn't that our process was broken. It was that it had become too complex to try and manage piecemeal anymore. It also had to provide 100% accessibility for every person that touched the project. Everyone had to be able to see where it was and who had control of it. And then, of course, we had our budgetary constraints. So our research kind of narrowed down to two possible options. We looked at Oracle's Agile software, and we looked at Aras Innovator. And we had one demo of Oracle's software, and that put them right out of the running. I mean, they just were not flexible enough to do what we wanted to do. And honestly, we took one look at their pricing structure and said, no, that's not happening. So Innovator was the complete opposite for us. We could get a totally custom solution based on we do NPD, and there was no talk of bankrupting us. So at the time, Aras had not yet implemented their subscription services, but what we ended up doing was getting a completely custom solution using what now amounts to their consulting services. So Aras built everything for us from the ground up. They did item type creation, they did workflows, life cycles, custom methods, data migration, user training and documentation. I mean, they did the whole shebang. And if you've never actually worked with Aras on a project like that, they really do a nice job of handling the details there. But as I said, so completely ground up, we got exactly what we wanted. No one is ever in the dark about where a project stands. And we cut out the swaths of time that we were using trying to track down project status and who had responsibility for it. So one of the best features that we found, though, was that when we find a new way of doing something in our current process, we always find that it can be done in Innovator as well. Innovator's actually been more than just a software platform for me personally. My career has seen a fantastic change of direction because of the work that we're doing in Innovator today.